Alright, this is the video. I'm pretty sure he premiered this thing on. And, yeah. I'm zooming in.
15-dimensional time matrix, and this will help you understand Anunnaki and the reptilians. I just want to verify this is in a live. Yeah, it looks like it's in a live. So, inner God, inner Christ, law of one. All is one, you guys. And that's what this teachings are about. When you have a teaching that teaches hierarchy, that teaches fear, guilt, shame, all this negative stuff, it's not coming from the guardians, man. It's coming from the fallen angels. And so, when we talk about part of the video, name of the video, most humans are in the third dimension, right? Third dimension, which is the incarnate level, where you have death, which is not natural, as you will see in higher worlds. It's the personal logos. Okay? Let me refresh the window. Sometimes it doesn't match what I see. Yeah, I gotta keep checking also because of the trolls. So, yeah, this is a journey, man. All these different realities, all these different matter forms, all these different experiences you feel. And one day, you'll go out of it. That's what Christed means. You got outside of this. You're able to get outside of this. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to go outside of this after you go to 15D. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you want to do service and reincarnate down at the bottom or something. I gotta change some windows, sorry. So we talked about the Anu Elohim. We can look at the bottom numbers. The Anu Elohim is way at the top of the 11th dimension. So, but remember, there's no darkness in the 12th dimension. That's where the Christos is. You see? These beings are against these beings. These fallen angels, dark avatars, are against the Christos, against the Christed ones. The ones serving light, the ones serving God. Everything else down here is distortion and shadow. That's why you got all these fallen angels down here. For between the reptilians, Omicrons, we mentioned the Omicrons. Insectoid, dino, reptiles, dragon moths. Okay, this is what created the dragons, the reptilians. But they have a brother race, sister race, whatever, the Adedicrons. They're at the same level. But these creatures are like gargoyles, reptiles with wings. These are fallen angels, man. They chose with their free will to go against the Christ. And that's why we put that star up at the top part. Okay? The dark avatars are against the Christ. They're lower than Christ. Christ star. There's your Christ star. Pure white star. That's the Christ star. Is a pure white star. Actually, I should have made that pure white, but I didn't think about that. I was just using text color of all these text colored. But anyways, I'll remember that on my next upgrade. Because look, this is the new one. Last version. And I recommend, this is the source. I'm transparent. This is coming from the Freedom Teachings. Emerald Covenant, Emerald Order teachings. Pro-Christ. Here at Christos Avatar, you and our family, Christos family, literal. We're the Christos, we're the Christ. We're serving Christ. Christ is serving. We're the light. After Christ is all darkness, falling, distorted consciousness that would include us way down here. We're in a distortion. We're in mortality and death. It's not natural. We're starseeds coming from this level. Most of you. The indigo children, they're coming from either this level, density 5, or the ascended master level in the Unisai, what we also call the Kirashe. Oh, Kundere, I made a mistake. The Kundere. Non-dimensional. Everything else in the time matrix is dimensionalized. Distortions, copies of copies of copies, from the highest level to the lowest level. I mean, it's not like this intrinsic value. No, we're not talking about intrinsic value. We're talking about how much consciousness these beings hold compared to these beings. These beings hold a lot more consciousness than these beings. And all the way down to where we are, man. In the third dimension of death and dying, we think it's normal. It's not normal. And this is happening because the fallen angelics, tonight's topic, the Anunnaki, this is the true-blooded Anunnaki, not those ones from Nibiru, from Sirius B. No, Sirius A. And they're competing Omicron dragon moths, who are insectoid, dinoid, dinosaurs, reptiles. And they're the ones who created the Dracons. Dracon. And this race is what creates a hybrid in Earth called Dracos. So you see all the way their family line. They're in the chart for the reptilians on this diagram that I'm selling for $15. Check it out. This is the Omicrons. They created the Dracons. The Dracons created the Dracos. And a few other races. And you can see, you see what the hybrid is made of. Omicron, a Falzance chupacabra. These are animal creatures, mammal creatures, like they're animals from Omicron and Dodecahron planets. They created a hybrid and put it on our planet. This brings a freaking alien. An alien animal, dude. And the Guardians call it Falzance. Okay? And so this is the mighty Omicron versus the mighty Anu Elohim. They created children race called the Anunnaki. This is what the Anunnaki are. The original ones from Sirius A, not the ones coming out of Nibiru. It's a different race. They're a cetacean hominid from Sirius A. That means they're part dolphin, part Anunnaki. Part Jehovian. So they created a creature. And the name, the word, in Anunnaki, in a New Age, they got some other name, definition for this word. I've even seen it incorrectly, or it's a distortion in the secret space program. Okay? So that distortion goes high. These are they call them bipedal dolphin people, man. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah. This stupid light is bothering me. I gotta turn it off so I can see my computer. I'll just put it down. Face up. I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me. You're awesome. You're awesome, man. These stupid names like lipstick tutorials. Goodbye, transmuted by little alien. Wachiwa Mako.
Look at his background. I'm happy for him.
I love you guys. Thank you for being here on this dissertation on these fallen angels, holy ones. And we're having a storm or something. It's really windy outside. So these Anunnaki, they're called Jehovian Anunnaki. Just so you know, there's a difference between the other ones. Oh yeah, this is also where this being called Enoch comes from. He's a bipedal dolphin people. Enoch's an Anunnaki, the original pure ones, not the ones from Nibiru. I gotta keep repeating myself. Then there's the ones they created on our planet. They took one of our ancient Egyptians, which are actually the forbidden knowledge. The forbidden knowledge of what this being is that it's an ancient Egyptian hybrid with an human plus an Anunnaki. In the Bible days, they talk about the Nephilim. But according to, how you got rescued from Noah and all this shit, according to the Guardians, that's a Nibiru history line. The hybrid Anunnakis gave you that. There's some different distortions in many different races. And this is just one of them. Anunnaki are not the only ones. We got some evil dolphins. And this is a big deal. These guys actually look human. The Nephites. There's a whole bunch of information on these Nephites. And another hybrid, exactly a Jehovian plus a Nephilim humanoid, a Merantians. And so we want to talk about the reptilians now, the Omicrons, and their brother race, the gargoyles, winged reptile avian hominids, right? These beings are what you get in your angels and dark angels from. Even the gray aliens are fallen angels, guys. They are not in your best interest. They made agreements with your governments and Illuminati. That's the Guardians called those beings Leviathan. Leviathan is what the Guardians call what these creatures. They're half hybrids. They're hybrid. They're hybrids that was created to be their representatives on Earth. They're not human. So anyone part of that club, guess what? You know their true identity. They're not human. So you don't just have regular gray aliens. You have one that's blue, a Delphi Zeta. There's one that's actually an orange Zeta. I don't see it right now for some reason. Oh yeah, the Karandara is an orange Zeta, created from that Dracos hybrid and an Anunnaki, like Jehovian, and the Zeta Regalian hybrid. Some crazy shit like that. And notice these beings are weird, like insectoids. And they're getting their DNA from this more advanced race called the Zephlihim. And it's the Zephlihim that seeds all these other races of the Zeta families. Zeta Regalians from their Rigel Orion. So remember, you guys can get this diagram if you like all this information. You can have it for your own. It's valuable, man. It's freaking awesome, and most of it's coming from higher Voyagers, but also from many of her workshops. I mean, I've been a very aggressive student, like trying to get as much information in my, as possible to present this information to you, and true to the teachings, not something from my own spin. Now, remember, it's between the Anunnaki and actually, it's mostly our level would be Dracon, the children race, the dragons. So we're dealing with dragons. Not actually, I mean, these beings come down here too, but, and remember, they're the true Dark Lords. They're the true Dark Avatars who created this race to do its bidding. And this is a geneticist too, so they're going to go create all these other creatures. But if you take an Anunnaki races and with the Draconian races, whichever breed, well, you get you get a hybrid, a mixture. Remember I just said that, between the Jehovian Anunnaki and the dragons. Put together, you're going to get variations. And we'll start with the Necromatons. These are also fallen angels, way in the 11th dimension. They're as high as the Anu Elohim. This race, the Necromatons, are feared by both the Anunnaki and the reptilians. So it's like a third faction. These are three factions. Competing fallen angelic races. You can see why the original Anunnaki is not on the same level as these hybrid half-breed Anunnakis, starting with the Marduk Anunnaki. And Marduk, there was a hybrid that created a different breed of Marduks called the Marduk Necromatons. These are the ones that are Luciferian. This is very informative, like a quick study guide, you guys. It's worth $15, and, like you would get a book at Amazon or something. And the vampires are an actual, just like you see a succubus sucking off your body and paralyzing you and eating your life force. Well, there's vampires, man. There's serpent dino humanoids. And they're coming from the Necromaton. These guys are effed up. And there's the Satanic Bible, the Necromaton, necromancy. Oh, by the way, all you people thinking you're channeling Andromeda, you're channeling beetle, reptilian, insectoids, posing as Andromedans. They're called the Andromes. And guess what this is? This freaking wicked being feared by Jehovian Anunnaki and reptilians is the Necromaton Nephilim, which is Archangel Michael Matrix. And I get a lot of people from the New Age channeling movement don't like this information. Hey, this is not my opinion. Remember the source. This is not my opinion. I gave you source. I'm transparent. This is coming from Voyagers, Cathara, Spiritual Healing, and Sliders, and these teachings that you can check out and learn yourself. Just go look for Ashiana Dean, Voyagers 1, voila. And here's the lovely Pleiadians you think who visited Billy Myers. This visited Billy Myers is a Luciferian fallen angelic Anunnaki Pleiadian. And they're the pretty little perfect humans. Billy Myers did describe these beautiful blonde girls. He thought they were human girls, human something. I don't know, Pleiadian. Well, he's called them Pleiadians, but they're part. They got to have your DNA. See, your DNA's in the Pleiadians, with the Pleiadians and the Jehovians. That's what your Bali Mahatma Semyasi beings are. And they made other blondes, but they're not completely human looking though. They're going to look a little bit reptilian, Anunnaki, but they're still blonde too. And you better believe they made them blonde for a reason, to attract the human to believe in this hybrid because it's part human. It's not human. Remember, the fallen angels are against Christ, against human, against our planet. They want to roll our planet. They want pole shift and murder all the genocide, all the consciousness. Here's your lovely Inky. People got in a channeling, New Age channeling movement got all upset when I was telling them about their precious Inky as being not human, not your creator God, but is actually insectoid reptilian human. Once again, not my opinion. This is not my opinion. This is coming straight from your guardians. Emerald Covenant. Where's Emerald Covenant? Here's where this information is coming from. Really. It's coming from here. The Akkadic level, the highest level of the creation. Oh wow, that's pretty high. These beings created the...
So it's like, clearly it's your opinion too, you know, that you're presenting this information, but I don't know. I think this time matrix is fucking fascinating. And let's see if there's anything else.
Melchizedek Cloister, here we go. Emerald Order in the house. Okay, Christ. We serve Christ, not this fallen angels and these dark avatars giving you Yahweh, Jehovah God, angry, pissed off gods. Oh, angry, dark beings telling you they're your God. Holy Elohim? No, unholy. Do you know the atrocities of these feline aquatic apes? Once called the Anu. They didn't want to call themselves Elohai Elohim. They changed their name. That's why there's this little arrow. They changed their name. They changed their name to Anu Elohim. They're against Elohai. They're against... This is your true creator. And that's not something you... No, that's the ones who created the human race. But this is the true creator. And it's God who created for itself a hologram field. This is a hologram. This is levels of frequency vibration. Each level is a specific wavelength. This is science, spiritual science. This is what the Guardians call pale magenta. The 15th dimension is connected to that light spectra. This light spectra is called pale yellow. Not gold, but it's the gold order, but it's actually pale yellow. Elohai, Elohim, pale turquoise. Christ, pure white. Now we start, now this is the spectrums of all the lower chakra. Dark gray, or you could say dark silver. Ashiana calls it in the book gray-black, I think. Excuse me, I gotta just take a drink of water. The 10th dimension is, remember earlier, blue-black. And I will be doing a chakra video soon. Silver. That's in the middle, crossing your third eye. It intersects your third eye. Silver ray. Gold ray. I pointed to where it was on my body earlier. Your thymus. This is your crown. See, these are all part of all humans' DNA. But since you're down here, you're in the third dimension because you've fallen into this level. You're following these fallen angels. You're worshiping fallen angels, man. You're praying to them. You're giving them energy. You're giving them teething too, right? In the churches. Omicrons, these Satanists, they're Satanists, let me see, because their family name is called Satan. That's where you get Satan from. Satan is not coming from earth honey. Satan is coming from Nibiru. Oh, that's the wrong part, sorry. And there's the Luciferian seed race. You take an Inky, which Inky is part of, Thoth is part of this race, and you combine Lucifer, Lulatan, with Satan. So, a reptilian fallen angel hybrid with Anunnaki fallen angel hybrid, plus the Necromaton beetle people we mentioned earlier, you get these three races who created the Amelian race, which is the Luciferian race. The seed race for all these other freaking either Luciferian Marduk Necromatons or Luciferian Inky or the Luciferian Pleiadians. And as I mentioned, I just mentioned that Thoth is coming from this Luciferian line. And there's some creature called Esasani who's like this creature. I like calling them creatures, but shorter apparently, stockier. So, yeah, lovely conversation. I'll go back to the camera, but I just wanted to introduce you. Oh, let me check the chat real quick. This thing is full of information, you guys. Sorry about the harassment. Okay. There's also in the inner earth. Inner earth's a real place. Here it is in the time spectrum. Like if this was, 4230 AD, inner earth would be around here a little bit in the future. From this beginning point, it's a little bit out here. And it's actually shown on the diagram that you guys can buy a copy of or become a member of on my Patreon. Here we go. Check it out. Inner Earth. It is between this Earth and what the Guardians call parallel Earth. That's where Inner Earth is. It's between those levels of itself. And I even put the information about the inner Earth here. It's 5336 AD. That's what that marker is, 5536 AD. That's in the future from our...
So I'm going to stop this just because it's getting long, but here, there's the Orpheum Angels. Feline, avian, hominoid, indigo type 3s. Indigo type 3s are known to be Orpheum. And like I was wondering, because when I went through my awakening, part of me getting taken the fuck away into a totally different dimension and shit was seeing the fucking Eye of Sauron literally staring at me. And, like, I know they call it the all-seeing eye of Enlil. It took me about 6 months to figure that out, and that the all-seeing eye really looks like the fucking Eye of Sauron. And I woke up, like, freaking the fuck out. I'm like, literally, guys, I don't know what happened, but I literally saw the Eye of fucking Sauron staring at me. And it did not like whatever I was going through. And I looked at it as it was looking at me, and it was fucking huge. It looked pretty much just like the Eye of Sauron in the fucking movies. And then it went boop, and it was turned off. Like somebody turned the TV channel off on this fucking Eye of Sauron. And it was like, like 3D glasses got dropped onto my fucking face, like somewhere else. But it was like, instead of a red and a blue one, it was like emerald fucking gold. Like everything my eyes could see was like emerald fucking gold. Glasses were literally dropped in my vision, and it was really fucking wild. And I wondered before if Holographic could be running around here Indigo Type 3'd. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, I know Indigo Angel refers to herself as an Indigo Type 1 with Indigo 3 templating. Well, I feel like an Indigo Type 3 who's an Emerald or a theme. You know, maybe I'm mixing it up and saying it backwards, but no, as soon as I woke up, I'm like, holy shit, all of this shit's real, and I'm gonna run around and try grid working. Like, literally snapped right on mission, and not the best way, but like, yeah, like all of this shit, like people were talking about, it was like stuff that I instantly started doing and trying to put together, and building bridges and shit, and like not even fucking realizing that's kind of what Indigo 3s do. Like it was very much so yeah, there's a lot of truth in this information. Indigo Type 3s are fucking real as shit. I'm gonna prove it one day. And yeah, this diagram's just cool as fuck. Toodles, bye.